Hey guys, what's going on? 5869 here, back again with some RD2L action. I've taken, I think, a couple weeks off from casting a little bit. I was getting busy there, but getting back into it. RD2L new season starting, getting super excited for this. Jackson 5 versus I Don't Care Anymore, also known as Meh. So, pretty excited for this game. A lot of, I think, well-known players, I would say. Medra, Fishbot, Toontamer, obviously. Nils Olav, Magic Jackson, got a bunch of fun guys that I've actually casted quite a few of these guys pretty often. So we'll see how this game's going. We've already got the Undying, the Quap, as well as the Wisp banned out. Some pretty standard picks. Wisp has been banned out quite often through a ton of patches. Gyrocopter first pick as well. Nothing too strange about that one right there. We see that inside and outside of competitive Dota. Just after that Rocket Barrage buff, as well as all the early fighting, Gyro's a pretty solid contender for pick ban rates now, and a Wyvern getting picked up. So, Matt, maybe just finished watching some of that European qualifier action, although this was way later. I think this was like a couple days ago, June 4th or something. But on that Winter Wyvern hype, loving that Siniko play, and they're going to try and duplicate it for themselves here against the Gyrocopter. Not too bad if you can get the Glimmer Cape there. You're not going to take really any damage from this Gyro. No physical, no magical, and we'll have to see how it works out for them. We've still got tons of solid heroes in here. We've got the Shadow Fiend, Lion, obviously Lena's still in there, Earthshaker. We see getting picked up both in the offlane or as a support. Spirit Breaker could be another hero as well that we could see getting picked up here. We'll have to see what he wants to pair with this Gyrocopter. In an aggressive tri-lane or a safe tri-lane right now. I think Gyrocopter gives you potential to really put a lot of pressure on the enemy if you want to. He's got a lot of early game damage with that Rocket Barrage. And we'll see if maybe they want to make use of that by running an aggressive tri-lane, maybe on the back of like a Lena Shadow Demon, or perhaps like even a Shadow Demon Mirana. Just get nice easy arrows, and we'll have to see if he's just going to leave it or if he's going to try to run it as an aggro tri-lane here. And potentially going to be looking for another core here. Could pick up his first support to maybe set things up, but at this point it really doesn't matter what you grab, as it's not really going to give too much away in your draft. So really actually dipping into a time for the first picks here. Nothing wrong with that. You don't want obviously anything to get banned out in that second phase that maybe you're looking to pick up here. Perhaps could see something like an offlane Nyx Assassin maybe. Would be pretty fun. I like watching that. Get that Aghanim Scepter up, and it's just so hard to push high ground. But with the Wyvern and the Lion, I think you don't have to be too scared of, Wyvern's actually a fairly good roamer, but I don't think you have to be too scared of getting roamed on between the Lion and the Wyvern. They should be fairly static, like maybe they'll stack up some camps and stuff. And the Witch Doctor is actually going to be the pick, so, not a bad second pick whatsoever. We'll see how that's going to work out, maybe. Cask, obviously, always a strong spell. The Death Ward, scaling into late game no matter what. It's that physical damage. Maybe not so much against the Wyvern there, but definitely a good option there. You don't have to worry about, your support kind of right-clicking anybody that gets ulted by that Wyvern, that Winter's Curse there, but we'll see. Gonna have a Naga Siren banned out, so maybe a little scared of that Naga Siren post 6.84. Just so hard to deal with that illusion downtime, and especially the Radiance buff again. The miss chance is so annoying as a support. Broodmother gonna get banned out as well. Not too bad. Wyvern's not the worst at dealing with Broodmother whatsoever, but maybe they just don't want to have to deal with all that pressure. And with the Broodmother ban, maybe they will be looking to rotate a little bit, as when you ban out a Brood, it means that you don't have to worry about your safe laner going up against an off laner that can really control the lane when you're gone. And a Shadow Fiend's going to be the next pickup, so perhaps that's going to be the plan there. As Shadow Fiend also pretty good at dealing with Brood, so they picked it up pretty quick. I don't think they didn't want to deal with Brood. I think they just have it in their mind that they're going to want to be rotating with the Wyvern as well as the Lion, especially when you've got a Shadow Fiend. If you can secure that mid lane, it's absolutely huge. You're not going to be up against the Quap or the Leshrac, which is, the Shadow Fiend's fantastic laner. He doesn't really lose to many heroes, so especially when you've got two fantastic contenders in the Leshrac as well as the Quap taken out. Don't have to be too worried here. We'll see what Jackson 5 wants to pick up here, as Magic Jackson taking nice. third ban, or excuse me, his third pick now. Did ban out the PL and the anti-mage, so maybe not looking to go to the late game here. Maybe scared of the PL or the anti-mage being able to split the map too much for them, and looks like he's going to be looking for a lot of early to mid-game aggression, hopefully trying to close it out at that point, as he's going to ban out 2 late-game cores, and usually means that you don't want to deal with them, or you're afraid they're going to pick them up and you may not be able to end it out as quickly as possible. On a Clockwork, I do like this pick, actually. You can get and wow, a Drought pickup right after the Clockwork, so that's definitely ballsy here. You can just really get that easy hook onto the Drow Ranger, and that really messes up their entire draft, so a little ballsy to pick that up right after, but they picked it so quickly that it seems like maybe they kind of threw Jackson 5 off there, as really just instant pickup there, and it's definitely going to synergize. You've already got 4 ranged heroes, so if they're going to push early, it's going to be a lot of damage, a lot of push power. Maybe look to get up a mech on this Shadow Fiend and just push from there. You've got the Wyvern heals, and I mean, so far you've got the save from the Wyvern to help the Drow. The heal is pretty huge. You know, she's not going to be able to take physical damage. You've got the slow from the Wyvern as well, which is pretty good. You don't have to worry about, you know, kiting too much there, but we'll have to see how this works out. Jackson 5 going to pick up the Vengeful Spirit, maybe picking that up more as a, you know, they want to take it away as they're maybe scared of the Wyvern being an offlane and a Vengeful being the second support with the line. That's a lot of roaming potential early on to help secure that game for the Drow Ranger. And Zeus is going to be banned out. Don't know why it's going to be a Zeus ban here. Well, Zeus wouldn't be too bad, I guess, in this case. The magical damage against the Wyvern and getting some damage onto that Drow while you can. But the swap as well as the hook is going to be pretty important for the Jackson 5 to win this game. As so far, they've got a Gyro and a Witch Doctor, but both heroes, you know, they've got to kind of run up to her, and she'll be able to kite them. Bristleback going to be taken out. I think Centaur's a fantastic pickup here as well. Just a tanky core that you can throw up front, get the ultimate. Drow can kind of get away if anybody's in her face there, and you know, a Blink Force Staff isn't too off. You know, Force Staff on a Centaur is a pretty solid core item no matter what. So Force Staff against the cogs there, you can get the Drow out of the cogs, and we'll have to see what they want to grab for the offlane. Spirit Breaker could be again another pickup here. You just charge in. Perhaps if you get vision of that Clockwork, you charge in on him before he has the opportunity to hook, and then you follow it up with the Drow. You've got the mech on the Shadow Fiend, the heal from the Wyvern to ensure he doesn't die, and then at that point you're kind of taking team fights on your terms, and it's pretty difficult to deal with something like that. We could even see the Earthshaker as well if you can get a nice wall to split up the team fight while, you know, your Drow and your Shadow Fiend just kind of eat people alive, and it's going to be a Nyx Assassin, so I can't say it's bad. It's definitely not a bad pickup here. But you would be looking for somebody a little bit tankier. I think would have been the better option there. Centaur would have been a great pickup. He's got the initiation, the counter initiation. The Nyx Assassin, he's really only good for the initiation. Maybe if you can get eyes on that Clockwork and stun him up and mana burn him before he can get the hook off. Again, the Clock and the Venge are kind of the two heroes we're going to have to watch for, because they're going to be the ones that are really going to ruin this Drow's game. We'll see if Jackson 5 perhaps wants to pick up something like a PA, run the PA mid against the Shadow Fiend. Not too bad for the PA. Definitely going to lose it out. Perhaps running like a dual lane with a Vengeful Spirit there. But it's going to be Alina. Alina, not too bad against the Drow if you can get up there, obviously. She's got a lot of damage output. So the Alina against the Shadow Fiend, he's going to have a pretty good time mid. He's going to... Fishbat's really going to need Medra as well as Midget to kind of rotate and help pressure this Lina so she doesn't just get an early Yules up. And we'll have to see how it goes here. Toontamer, he's going to be picking up the Gyrocopter. And here we go, hopping right into the game. And pause. Perfect. Nothing better than that. We can kind of break down the players here. Is start off with the die. We're going to have Fishbot over here on the Shadow Fiend. Hora. He's going to be taking up the Drow Ranger. Idiot is going to be on this offlane Nyx Assassin. And that's going to leave Midget and Medra on the Wyvern and the Lion respectively. They're going to be moving, I imagine, top lane with this Drow Ranger. I don't think you'd want to tri-lane against, you know, Toontamer, but they may have to dodge it, as a tri-lane with the Witch Doctor and the Vengeful Spirit, as well as the Gyro, could be pretty scary. But we're going to have Tasty Sansa, as well as Nils Olav. Toontamer, they're going to be heading up that tri-lane. Toontamer on the Gyrocopter. Magic Jackson, he's going to be taking this off-lane or perhaps safe lane solo Clockwork, as Degent, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, he's going to be taking up the mid Lina, so we'll have to see. Maybe get a cheeky smoke play perhaps into the jungle to start it off well on the side of the Radiant. Just smoke up, go around, try to catch off perhaps this Drow or even this Lion, somebody like that. Just somebody that you can blow up pretty quickly. The Wyvern, Kind of maybe makes that a little bit scarier. She does have that heal, preventing them from taking physical damage, but when you've got the cask, you've got the magic missile, and you've got the rocket barrage, you definitely want to make use of that, especially at level 1 if you can get a kill. It's really going to help bolster your early game here. It's definitely looking like a scary late game here. And if we could see a long game here, again, Nyx Assassin. I love watching a Nyx Assassin. Once you've got the blink and everything, but when you get that Agnum Scepter, just so much fun to watch. Those freaking impales are absolutely ridiculous range. I think like 800 or something like that. Obviously, it's not going to tell me too much here until he gets the eggs, but definitely a ton of fun to watch that Nyx Assassin with the Agnum Scepter, and Octarine Core as well, just getting all those cooldowns even lower as Shadow Fiend showing off his nice Immortal out of that Immortal 2 chest that recently came out. Looks like it is going to be an aggressive tri-lane, and not going to smoke up or anything here. Witch Doctor is returning, is going to grab the Observer Ward here. It looks like that they're actually taking 2 Observer Wards, so they're saying we want to get eyes on this rune, but we also want to block this Observer camp, or perhaps just make sure they're safe throwing it up around there. And Boots first on this Vengeful Spirit as well, so she's definitely playing the soft force support, as it looks like Witch Doctor's going to be buying pretty well everything here. Lion, what's he looking for? Moving up quite close here is Medra. Thought perhaps he had a ward there, but everybody's spread out quite nicely here. It looks like we might have a little bit of action on this top rune here if they're not careful. Everybody's playing so safe, right back up on the steps. Drow, she's going to be the first one to move up, try to scout things out, but they can't see anything. Radiant's got such an easy position on this rune, as they can just stand up on these steps, and it's so close. They've got to stay out here in this river. It's just so scary to deal with when you're the side of the Dire. And here we go. We'll see how this is going to go. Hora. He's going in right now. Nils Olav looks like he's going to be the one to lead, as well as Degen. He's coming up there with the stun. Are they going to be able to catch anything? Fishbot, there he is, getting a little bit too close perhaps. Looks like Degen not fast enough on that stun, so maybe thinking his team is too far off, and nothing's going to happen. Meanwhile, bot lane, Magic Jackson as well as Idiot, they're just trading right clicks here. Who got that bounty rune there? It looks like the Nyx Assassin got it, so splitting the bounty runes between both teams at the very least there. We'll bring up the last hits chart, and we'll see how this goes. Aggressive tri-lane. They're really going to have to make this work. If they give up anything to the side of the Dire, it's going to be absolutely disastrous here. They do still have that second Observer Ward. The camp did spawn, and they're actually going to use it more to kind of spot out if the supports are going to be rotating towards them. I would like to see them maybe... actually, that camp is blocked, unfortunately. I was going to say I'd like to see them try to do a couple side pulls there. Really just limit them. But Nils Olav taking up an aggressive position here. Really trying to zone out Hora. But he's a pretty good hero to aggressive tri-lane against. Drow has pretty solid range. Nyx Assassin going to be stunning on Magic Jackson here. He does have to be careful. Level 2 actually into Spike Carapace. Unfortunately, maybe if he had the mana burn, he'd be able to get a kill here. If he would have Spike Carapace there, perhaps. He does have the stun. Can he hit the stun? That's all he's going to need to get the kill. The stun's going to land. 1 or 2 more right clicks. Is he going to be able to get it? 15 HP, Idiot. No. Unfortunately, not going to be able to chase it. Magic Jackson probably thanking the Lord right now that he bought that Stout Shield, blocking just enough damage there to keep him alive. 15 HP, but he's going to be having a pretty sad bot lane here. His Idiot should be able to really control the lane. Going to miss a last hit there, unfortunately. But Gyro, he's going to be the one leading alongside the Lina here. 5 and 3 up against 4 for 3. Shadow Fiend. Only 4 souls. Not doing too bad there. He's going to miss that last hit, unfortunately. So does really want to get as many early last hits as possible. They do scout this pull here that they're going for. And they are actually going to grab a side pull of their own. Are going to deny at least the range creep here. Nils Olav taking a little bit of unnecessary right-click damage. They do want to stack it here, but they're not going to get it, unfortunately. He's going to try for it, and it looks like actually he may get it. Yeah, he did get it, so just barely catching that one. So a nice little stack there by Tasty Sansa. And the game's all quieted down after that little bit of a tassel bot lane. Fishbot still struggling a little bit in this mid lane. Does have 7 souls. As Nyx Assassin actually going to be starting to take the last hit lead here up against this solo Clockwork, who did have to really burn through all of his regen already. He is going to move bot towards that bounty rune. Grab that. And look at this. Just pressuring this so much. It looks like Midget. He wants to make a go for it here. He is going to have the slow. Not going to use it, though. Just going to fly around. Get a little bit of safer position there, as he is getting a little bit scared. Are they going to maybe use the cask here? It looks like they already did. Nils Olav is taking a lot of those. Medra, though, he's going to get stunned. Just look at the damage. First blood. Medra's going to go down. Throw down the Earth Spike before he dies, or the Impale. But that's a dead lion. And Just look at the burst damage they had. Didn't use the cask, didn't use the maledict, don't even need it when you've got that damage from the magic missile as well as the rocket barrage. Magic Jackson still kind of struggling, although Idiot doesn't have any more mana here bot lane, so not going to be able to pressure him out with Impale or anything like that. It's level 4. Not doing too bad here as Djent. Still not doing too bad in this lane. Shadow Fiend should really start taking the lane, though. He's got 16 souls, as well as his bottle, so he can just really raise this lane out, even moving to the jungle if he's that scared. But Lina also not bad at pushing out the lane with her abilities, so she's level 5, almost has that level 6. Fishbot will have to be careful for that. Well-timed Laguna Blade's so scary right now. Nils Olav and Midget almost side by side right now. If only they saw each other, you'd think perhaps they'd be looking to make a go. It looks like Tasty Sansa wants to throw out the cask, and he does, but he's not going to continue on with it as no bounces for him, unfortunately. Not going to be able to get a kill there. We'll have to see. I would really... It's tough now because with the Radiant putting on this pressure, they can't get the supports on the side of the Dire to rotate around and pressure this Lina and really win the Shadow Fiend this lane. So, unfortunately, maybe that was their plan, was trying to... Excuse me, I missed a kill. Bot lane Clockwork. Looks like the Cogs, as well as the 3 points there, are going to get him the kill. Onto the Nyx Assassin top lane, though. Meanwhile, Midget, he's going to turn around, try to get whatever damage he can before he dies. The cask still bouncing. They don't have Magic Missile, though, for another 5 seconds. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get a kill for them. As, we do see the Clockwork now, after almost dying in that bot lane, is going to turn around and get a kill later on here. As I was saying, it's going to be hard for the supports on the side of the Dire. They're going to have to stay top lane if they don't want this Drow to die. They were, I imagine, hoping to pressure this mid lane to really get the Shadow Fiend that win and perhaps get the early mechanism here. But Idiot, he's going to be the one going down bot lane to Magic Jackson, who looks like he wants to keep the pressure up. He's got so much damage now. The stun is actually going to miss. Magic Jackson, if he doesn't catch another creep in these Cogs, he could easily get a kill here, but it looks like no, the creeps are too close by. He is going to force a TP out here. And that's not what they want, as it's going to turn into a dual lane. Magic Jackson, though, perhaps getting too far up. Doesn't see the line. There's one stun. Do they have the stun for the line? No, they don't. If they would have had the double stun, that would have been an easy follow-up kill. But unfortunately for them, they don't have it. And just barely enough mana here to get away. Three levels in a battery salt is just so hard to deal with when you're a melee core here. Is you walk up to the creep wave, you get caught in the wrong spot. And actually, meanwhile, we're going to have a dive behind the tower. Drow's going to go down here. Nils Olav as well as Toontamer. They're still going on Midget. Are they going to get the kill? Toontamer turning around a little bit too early. He's actually going to give it away to the creeps there. AoE bounty gold, obviously not going to be too big of a deal this game, but I'm sure they would have loved that. Venge is going to get a DC there, unfortunately. 1,000 gold on this gyrocopter already, so 6-0, and meh, it's not really working out for them. I don't care anymore. Got those nice meh banners. Got the Jackson 5 banners on the side of, obviously, Team J5. And they're going to start pressuring this tower, and I can't say that this top lane isn't one, because Radiant's absolutely demolished this top lane, and this is very scary on the side of the Dire. Now, what are their supports? Level 3, so not too far behind. Level 2 on this Wyvern, but really this top lane is an absolute disaster. Drow looks like she's going to start moving into the jungle here because that's all she can do. Still doesn't have level 6 to help out Fishbot, as well as the rest of the ranged heroes on her team. And this is absolutely awful now. Once Toontamer, Medra, and Nils Olav take this top tower here, what can the Dire hope to do? They're going to buy a smoke and perhaps rotate mid to try and kill this Lina. She does have Laguna Blade and did spend it earlier. I did miss that, unfortunately. Does pick up the treads. See if she is going to move into the Eul's Scepter next. That mana increase, obviously, to 225 is pretty huge for sure. But with the treads, leaving them on intelligence there is going to help curve that, as it looks like Nils Olav, not sure where he's going, is just going to place the Observer Ward. I'm not sure if they knew what he did, but he's got to be careful. There's the slow from Midget, but with no follow-up, especially with no Drow and only Medra close by, he's not going to be able to get the kill. Nils Olav is going to regen up a bit. Lina taking a very aggressive position up against Fishbot, who does only have 19 souls now, so it seems like he has slowed down a little bit here. And Magic Jackson looks like he did force out this Nyx Assassin, who is going for the Dagon build, not the Blink build here. And he does have level 6, so we'll see if he wants to look to pressure here. It looks like they are going to catch it. with this Observer Ward. They will see this TP. Did they see him go invis here? Was anybody paying attention? It looks like no. And just look at how slow he is. Doesn't have boots, does have the ultimate, but this should be an easy kill into Nils Olav if that's who he wants to make a go for. It looks like no, he's going to go on Toontamer. Nobody's close by though. An idiot getting a little bit too aggressive. Medra is nearby if he wants to throw out the stun as well as Midget. Does he have the heal? Yes, there's the heal. But the magic damage from Toontamer perhaps going to be too much. Nils Olav's going to get hexed up. Still throwing out some right clicks from the back here. We've got the magic missile. Medra, is he going to go down before Nils Olav? He is. Draw's going to run in and get the last right click for the kill. Toontamer now getting very low. And with the slow from the Drow Ranger, should be able to get the easy kill. Meanwhile, mid lane, we do see the Shadow Fiend go down. The Lina as well as the Clockwork did get the kill. They are pinging out Toontamer. They still know he's there. Can he eat his way out? Are you kidding me right now? He's going to get away on 35 HP. Midget's still trying to chase it, but he's not going to be able to get the kill. Oh, wow. I'm surprised nobody thought to go and try to cut him off here. He's going to get out. And a 2-for-1 trade across the map when all's said and done. Medra's going to go down, but not trading his carry is going to be pretty huge here. Magic Jackson looks like perhaps he wants to go for a kill. Close by, DJ, he's nearby as well. He's going to throw out the Light Strike Array as well as the Dragon Slave. Idiot, though, looks like he's not going to be able to survive here as the kill's going to go to the Clockwork. 3 points in a battery barrage. Or, excuse me, battery assault there. Kind of hard to deal with, and they do have one kill, but 9-for-1 already. 8 minutes and 45 seconds in, and this game's already looking kind of hard for Meh. If they want to bring it back here, they're going to have some fantastic play. This Drow Ranger finally does finish up her boots, as well as, looks like another Wraith Band. Yeah, looks like another Wraith Band is what she finished up there. Shadow Fiend is moving in towards the jungle, but they know what's going on now, and with the wards up there, they want to get a kill on a fish bot. Look who's nearby. Magic Jackson with the hook, and is he going to land it? Looks like he can't miss right now. Is he going to even throw it out? Yes, he is. So there's the hook. The cogs to follow up. Fishbot's going to turn around and try to get a raise off, but to no avail right now. The silence is going to come up from Hora Hora, but he's going to have to turn around and just give it up. And look at this. Wards in the jungle now. Would have liked to see it kind of up here to just, you know, see both camps, but that ward they would not have seen get placed. And now they're going to look at this mid tower and bot lane. Meanwhile, Toontamer getting a little bit scared now. Idiot, he's got to turn around though. Look at this damage from Rocket Barrage. He's going to get stunned up. Is he going to use the call down? I really think he should have. He would have been able to easily get a kill there. They do see the ward, and they will be able to de-ward it as well. So for a poor support like Medra, that is not what you want to happen. Meanwhile, Djinn moving in towards the jungle. Hora Hora just around the corner now. They've got to be careful. He is just going to turn around in time. And maybe they'll take this stack here. Hora Hora, though, being pressured out of the jungle. Medra is going to grab the stack. Only a small camp, though, so not going to be too much. They do have a hook in 15 seconds, and it's looking like it's going to go to Fishbot on this mid lane. Djinn nearby. He's got the Laguna Blade as well, and look who's showing up. Hora Hora saying, hey, maybe you guys should hook me here, and it looks like that might be the play. They've got 5 seconds. Djinn getting a little bit aggressive. There's the stun, the silence, though, to follow it up, so she can't do anything for a couple seconds, but that's going to be a dead Drow Ranger. Even Laguna Blade being used, and look at this. Fishbot, he's getting a little bit too aggressive for his own good. Does have a haste rune. Is he going to get away? Magic Jackson, the hook. It's landing. A blind hook, a beautiful hook from Magic Jackson. The sun's going to miss from Idiot. He doesn't have cogs, so he won't be able to secure another kill there, and a nice hook on the back of that haste rune. Looks like they want to continue to chase it here, but Magic Jackson, nice little play from him. Going to secure that Shadow Fiend, who almost got away with the lucky rune there, but whew, that got a little bit scary. They are going to throw up a sentry as well as an Observer Ward, but the sentry just out of range. Unfortunately, they did de-ward that top rune. Looks like they're going to meet up with Toontamer, and all 5 heroes bot. They're going to grab this tower as well, so really, I want to take a look at these graphs and look at the net worth. Already at about 8K. I imagine the XP at about 5K, so not as close, or excuse me, not as massive of a lead, but Dire really got to split themselves up and farm well if they want to hope to come back in this game. That Drow Ranger, I mean, I really think that pick was a little bit iffy. I think they had an idea in mind that they wanted to get the Drow Ranger, perhaps Nils Olav on this Vengeful Spirit. That pick on the Venge was maybe a little bit disruptive. They perhaps wanted the Venge, but I think this Nyx Assassin offlane as well is really tough to agree with here. You need somebody like a Centaur One Runner at 6. Would have been able to disengage from so many of these fights, and that's what you need. You need to buy yourself time. You need to buy your Drow Ranger time to really make it to that 20-ish, maybe even 30-minute mark, that mid-game that she's so strong at, as well as the Shadow Fiend. Buy him some time to get the Blink Yules or whatever he wants to get the Blink Mech, and really, they're just pressuring the map so well. The Radiant knows what to do, and how can the Dire really do anything here? This is such a poor line. He's going to need a Blink Dagger to be effective at all this game, really. Doesn't have level 6 just yet. Still only level 4. Trying to soak some levels mid, but not going to be too effective. As Hora still working on getting whatever agility items she can. The Radiant is getting a little bit stagnant, so they do have to really keep this pressure up, but they're all off the map. And look at how safe the side of the Dire has to play right now. Fishbot behind his tower. Medra nearby. They've got to play together. They've got to be careful. Hora moving back into the jungle. Idiot right behind his tower. Midget standing at the tier 3 right now. And they could just move into a Roshan if they wanted here very easily. Toontamer does have the lifesteal that they need. They've got the negative armor from the Vengeful Spirit. They've got the easy stun here from the Lina. They've got the heal from the Witch Doctor, as well as the Clockwork. He can kind of cogs him out for a little bit. He's got the Blade Mill as well. A 2-man hook there would have been absolutely devastating. He's not going to be able to get it, though. And they are going to throw up the ward here on the high ground. And Idiot and Midget, again, just moving back to their tier 3. Lion is going to soak up some levels mid, but still only level 5. Still hasn't managed to find that level 6, and that's really what he needs. And they're just going to take another tower. And now if the Radiant wants to Roshan, they don't have too many towers they can TP towards, or, you know, they can kind of back up to. They've really only got this mid tower, and look at this, 3 heroes that aren't even really good at taking towers. This Gyrocopter's just in the jungle, farming up here, and it's going to get harder and harder on the side of the Dire. You'd think them splitting up like this is going to be beneficial. You know, you've got the treads, all the agility. Your Drow Ranger is hitting pretty hard. Winter Wyvern actually going to get a kill here, but they're going to follow it up with a Witch Doctor kill. He is going to throw down the Death Ward there. Midget not going to be enough damage, though, and he's just going to walk out. So unfortunately for them, look at the net worth on the Lina, the hook in on the Medra. He's going to go down, is going to use the Hex, and actually, Magic Jackson getting a little bit too aggressive here. Could he die? Shadow Fiend's going to get the dominating the send out Medra. He's going to live. 55 HP. This game has just been the storyline of people barely getting out. And now 13-3 is Magic Jackson getting a little bit aggressive, perhaps not expecting the TP reactions. Wyvern is going to pick up the urn here, and Tranquil Boots picked up by Medra, who still doesn't have level 6. Unfortunately for him, Toontamer is going to kind of cut the creep wave and look to take the top tower now. Does have the lifesteal, but a TPM from the Wyvern as well as the Lion. Doesn't have call down if he wants to fight it here, but maybe he could turn around. They do have a tier 1 tower top if they want to return some TPs here. Is he going to get the ult off Midget? No, just barely missing it, unfortunately for him. Lion, did he get the deny on the tower there? Looks like no, he didn't. So Medra staying back to maybe get the deny, but not going to be enough. Fishbot still in the jungle here. Does manage to find his level 10 as he's getting pinged out. Dejent does have enough damage easily. There's the Yule Scepter. The silence, though, from Hora. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it is. Maybe they could turn it around the slow. Just look at the damage. It looks like a crit right now. They do see the flare from the Clockwork, so maybe getting a little bit scared here. The haste turn is going to get picked up by Dejent, but nice little disengage. The silence is really saving them right there. Hora thankfully nearby, farming the jungle as Idiot's going to move to the bot lane. Does finally have his Boots of Travel, getting closer. About 600 gold off that Dagon if he wants to pick it up still. Stun out is going to secure him 3 last hits here. Is Fishbot showing up with Hora as well. And really, what can they do when their mid tower's going down? Their jungle's invaded. They've got the wards to see the Radiant. Radiant throwing down a pretty, I believe the sentry can be seen, maybe just barely out of range there. Thought this sentry could be seen by the Knicks, but Magic Jackson, again, excuse me, a little bit too far up. He is going to be alright, though. Bottle as well as the Witch Doctor heal is going to be enough to keep him alive there, as well as the Dragon Slave going to do some damage to Idiot and Midget here. As Drow Ranger does move to the bot lane, does have a TP if she needs to go back mid to help defend here. As she's going to pick up whatever she can, and they actually throw it on the Fortify here. And I don't know if they can move up. They do get the Fortify, but they will have to be careful, and they are going to TP back. Gyro's going to go top lane. It looks like they're going to maybe try to cut off Hora bot here. He's going to move into the jungle. Still has the TP. We'll probably clear a couple jungle camps and just TP out. Yeah, there it is. He's getting a little bit scared, and you can't blame him. He's going to move into his jungle here, and Radiant is going to move towards the bot lane. Defend that tower a little bit here, as Toontamer does pick up his Yasha, I imagine. Probably going to go for the S and Y build. Could get a Manta to get rid of the silence, which wouldn't be too bad, but I think the S and Y would probably be a little bit better. Tank up, especially against this Drow Ranger and the Shadow Fiend, who are going to be hitting so hard. And look at this Drow already hitting for about 180, 190. And Shadow Fiend, he's close by. He's actually hitting for about 200 almost there. As Lina does pick up the Blink Dagger, so they are getting the items they need. But really, the Radiant needs to secure this Roche if they want to push high ground, as it's going to be difficult pushing into a Wyvern as well as the Shadow Fiend. They've got so much counter push. Even the Lion, to an extent, if he wants to throw out his stun. And maybe we're finally going to see the first Dagon get picked up here for Idiot. There's the stun out. Going to secure him. Another right click. Not going to be able to land on that creep, so he won't be able to get that one. And the Radiant grouping up now. At least smoke or something. I don't want them to give away the lead that they've got here. Looks like they did stack Ancients. Toontamer did take a creep here and get at least one stack there. I don't believe it was two, but... Dejin now with an aggressive blink up, but look who's there to greet him. Medra instantly gonna throw out the finger. Dejin's dead. The hook in from Magic Jackson. Gonna catch two cogs. The huge call down though. Magic Jackson's gonna go down, but Toontamer, he's gonna get a triple. Is he gonna turn it into an ultra kill here? There it is. The Rocket Barrage going down and not an ultra kill. A steal from Tasty Sands. Toontamer, I imagine, sitting on Mumble right now saying, what the heck are you doing, man? That was my ultra kill. But 4 for 2 exchange there. And really, the Lina, I'm not sure why she wanted to get so aggressive there. Just wait for the Clockwork to hook in. If he dies, it's no big deal. But that Lina easily could have made it a 1 for 4. As well as a tower on the back of that. If she would have stayed. Now, I'm not too sure. They don't really have her wave push. It looks like the SMY is going to be the pickup here from Toontamer. Not too scared of the silence. Meanwhile, Nyx does pick up his dig on 1. And the Radiant's ready, though. They usually have sentries. Although now... they don't have sentries, and the sentry mid lane not going to really help them out when they're pushing top tower. And honestly, right now, if this Nyx was nearby and he could get an easy 3-man stun, if they had any type of follow-up, it'd be absolutely huge. Wyvern, again, just look at that D-push. That damage is actually pretty huge. Nils Olaf should probably be getting a little bit closer here. Meanwhile, the hook onto Hora. He's going to just silence him out and perhaps look to stay alive here. Meanwhile, close by is the Wyvern, though. Nils Olaf's going to blow up as well as Medra. Fishbot nearby, throwing out whatever raises he can. There's the Dagon as well as the stun. Fishbot's going to get a double kill, and the Unstoppable goes to the Shadow Fiend. So that's a ton of gold right now. He finishes up his Eul Scepter bot lane. Dejin trying to push it out, and Magic Jackson does manage to get the Drow Ranger. Nyx Assassin getting the deny. He's almost got his Dagon too, so that fight was absolutely huge towards getting him his next item. I honestly think he should pick up a Blink. But, you know, nothing wrong with the Dagon. The burst damage is going to just blow up this Venge as well as this Witch Doctor. Although he does have a nice Glimmer Cape, so I thought the Venge was going to be... actually, they're all just so rich, so it's not that the Venge is the hard support. It's just that they've got so much gold right now. And again, they really just need to look towards this Roshan. The Radiant does, as... the Drow could easily take it, and look at that. The Drow's going to go for the Roshan. If she gets this Roshan, the Radiant is going to be on the back foot for sure here. As we see the Gyro, they do have the top 3 net worths, but look at the team net worth. It's about 10k. It's just going to keep dropping if they can get a Roshan. A team fight on the back of that. Nils Olav, though, could run into Hora. Maybe not. Pop the smoke. Nils Olav, it's just going to be on the edge, I think, here. Oh, no, he does pop the smoke. That's huge. They know that the Drow was trying to take Roshan. So hard to smoke at nighttime. You've got about 800 vision, or excuse me, 800 vision, and I think the smoke pops at around 1200 units or so. So they do see the Roshan attempt, and they're going to say, guys, we really need to take this. If they do, it's going to be a lot harder for us. And here we go. They're going to move on to Roshan right now. It's Magic Jackson. He's close by. He's going to tank up a little bit. He's almost has his Aghanim Scepter, only about halfway away there. As Idiot, he is going to come in here. They do have the wards to see him. They should be pinging him out. Nils Olav, though, he's up on the high ground. Idiot should maybe just turn around, and no, he's going to go down most likely. There's the stun up. Is going to miss. Actually, no, just barely going to get a kill here. Hora's going to go down in the background, though. So far, 1 for 1, but there's already 2 so low. Wyvern's almost dead. Shadow Fiend's going to go down, and looks like the team fight's at a loss here. It looks like Lion's going to get cleaned up with the battery assault. Maybe not. He does have the cogs. Is it going to land? No, just barely going to push him out. He should be able to survive, but it doesn't matter. Roshan's going to go the way of the Radiant. And Nils Olav, I don't even know how he got the swap up there. Who did he swap down? I don't even know what happened there. Team fight was really spread out. The hook from the Clockwork was huge. They do have the Sentry Ward up there. Oh, actually, no, it's a Sentry from the Dire, so won't be able to get much from there. And there's the Roshan getting picked up by the Lina. So now she can blink in nice and aggressive with that Eul Scepter. And this game's going to get even harder for the Dire. GG easy. Bird is the word. Hadoken. 2 anti-mages. But really, the Radiant's got so much to be aggressive now. They've got the BKB on Toontamer. They've got the Aegis on the Lina. Nils Olav is going to be moving into his Glimmer Cape quite soon. Tasty Sansa, he does have his. Going to be moving into the Aghanim Scepter. And Clock, yeah, I was about to say, just real close to that Aghanim Scepter. And they'll probably wait for the Clock eggs. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. A ton of farm up here for Degent here, as he's going to get quite a few last hits there. Nice. Not going to get that one, weirdly enough. I thought he would easily get that there. But he's got 2,200 gold, and we'll see what he wants to move into next. If it's going to be a BKB of his own, because really a BKB, what do they have to deal with? They've got the Winter's Curse, and that's about it. Even then, though, that doesn't really do much. It just means that you got to right-click somebody on your team, but they've really got nothing that goes through it. Maybe the damage reduction from the Shadow Fiend, but it's not the damage reduction you need. It's the damage itself, and looks like Idiot is going to make a go here. They don't have any True Sight. It's going to see the entire, well, not the entire Radiant, but it's going to see a couple heroes there. Actually, they should see the entire Radiant now. Fishbot and Medra just going to push out bot. They actually do know that they're pretty safe here. They do see a lot of the Radiant there under the ward. And counter push again. They really don't have too much to help bolster their creeps. They don't have a mech to heal up with the counter push. They've got the Witch Doctor, the S&Y almost complete here on Toontamer, as well as the Aghanim Scepter. Still just waiting on the items to go high ground, but look at what the Dire's doing. They're doing a great job of taking the enemy jungle right now. And really, they're avoiding them. They're doing a good job of avoiding them. They're staying out of their jungle. They've got the vision there. They know that it's pretty scary, and they're TPing out now. So making all the right moves to perhaps waste this Aegis on the side of the Radiant. Toontamer really close to that S&Y now. But if they're going to wait for items, it means that they're not going to have the Aegis, and we'll see how it goes. 138 last hits. Close by, though, is the Shadow Fiend, who's got 128, so just been using Raze to clear out these creep waves. Does pick up a Blink Dagger, and that might be a little bit limiting. I think a BKB may have been the better option there. Yeah, they've still got the swap, but I mean, with the cask as well as the magic missile, the call down, they've just got so much magical damage. And look at this, the smoke on the side of the Dire, and the Radiant has no idea. They're going to be on the low ground here as well, which is going to be absolutely huge. The ping's out here, and look at that. They're going to catch the Vengeful Spirit at the very least. There's the ultimate, but no, the Glimmer Cape's going to save him from so much damage. The call down, Hora's got to be careful. He's going to throw it to silence, but it's going to miss. The Laguna Blade on the Shadow Fiend, he's going to go down. Dragon Slave on a Medra, he's going to live. He's going to turn around and throw the finger on a DJ, but he's still living here. Midget is going to throw the heal out on himself. Medra's still alive, but it looks like it's going to be a 5-0, a 4-0 at the very least. Idiot on the background, he's going to try and get a kill. Perhaps using the Dagon, but doesn't manage to get it. Clockwork Magic Jackson is going to move to push out the mid lane, and a disastrous smoke. A beautiful Glimmer Cape play here from Tasty Sansa, and is going to secure Nils Olav there. Give him so much magic resistance. And sorry about the cast, guys. It's been a little bit of a while since I've casted a game, so a little bit rusty, but hopefully after this one, I think I'm going to do a couple more for sure and get a little bit better in shape. Hopefully I'll be doing them at least a couple times a week now. But everything's kind of slowed down a little bit. Degent with 4K right now. That's an easy Aghanim Scepter. And how do you deal with, I mean, not 950 yet, but how do you deal with 950 pure damage once it does hit that level 16? And you got a finger with what, 450? 600? Yeah, 600. Right now, and 600 magical damage. That's really your only other burst damage on your team. And you got to deal with 950 pure damage. That's a dead Shadow Fiend, essentially. That's essentially a dead Wyvern. That's a dead Nyx Assassin, a dead Lion, and close to a dead Hora here. So, once this Aghanim Scepter comes out, the Dire is just going to continue to get squeezed into their base here. 2K onto the Gyrocopter after finishing up that S&Y. Doesn't have the Aegis any longer, but Magic Jackson, he's got his Aghanim Scepter. There's the Lina's Aghanim Scepter, and an early Roshan respawn here, actually. That's 4 minutes is the wait time. Smoke going to be picked up by the Lion as well as a Dagon, so they're really saying, guys, we need to smoke. We need to get some kills. We can't just defend all game because they're getting their items they need, and I think that's really, maybe they can wait for them to push high ground and make a mistake, but it's not the safest of opportunities. And looks like they're going to try to push out mid lane. Midget, though. Fantastic counter push. They're going to D-ward. Nice little catch for them. And I do like this sentry ward. As if they go to D-ward here, they're most likely going to put, their sentry ward there. And it's only going to get you the observer. So later on, you can maybe D-ward whatever they throw up there. But I guess if they throw an observer, they should see it. Looks like Clockwork going top lane. I believe he can solo kill Hora Hora, who is going to TP out, and he's not going to be able to get the hook. The creep wave is in the front there, as they did see him rotating through the jungle, I imagine. Yeah, the ward does catch him rotating through the jungle there, I think, and is going to be able to get out. Or just maybe having some good intuition, saying everybody's out off the map there, as Idiot does have his level 3 Dagon. Venge is going to pick up the gem here, and oof. Dire, what little vision they had is going to be squeezed out even more. So we've got a nice triple stack here on the Ancients. I believe, yeah, 1, 2, 3, triple stack. As the Radiant's going to perhaps look to push it out for the last time and get a Rax. Gem is getting ferried out. They do put a sentry ward up here anyways. But this means that this Nyx Assassin, again, when you pick up a Nyx Assassin, you need that Blink Dagger, because you can't expect that you're going to get the initiation from the Invis all the time. And now, what does he do, really? He waits in the back of the team fight, perhaps for an opportunity, but who's your initiator? The Shadow Fiend without a BKB, he's just going to blow up. Sure, he can blink and heal somebody, but with the rest of the team there, he's going to die. The Wyvern perhaps could save him for a little bit, but they've got no initiation on the side of the Dire. And again, I can't help but think that, wow, are you serious right now? They know he's there. They're so close. They do see him there. They do catch him with the Wave of Terror. They've got the stun. Hora Hora is going to go down. And the hook actually getting blocked there. They are going to spend the Laguna Blade, but really, why not? They are going to look to push out bot lane. Now they've got the creep wave. Top's pressuring quite a bit. Fishbot is going to throw a couple raises down. He's going to miss on that one, though. And maybe these guys have been out of play for too long, as playing a little bit sloppy. Then again, just a nice friendly in-house. It's all in good fun. I think we're still only at like week 0, maybe week 1 at this point, but still very early on in the competition to, really see who's going to win. And I'm really looking forward to this month. Hopefully I'll get a lot of good games that I can cast here from the RD2L. Definitely had a lot of really fun past ones. And there's the swap in onto Midget. He's going to blow up almost instantaneously. The Toontamer, though, he's going to go down. Long range finger is going to secure the kill. The Shadow Fiend's going to blink, and there's the Requiem. Actually going to hit on 2 as well, as the stun was absolutely massive there. Laguna Blade's going to go down. Dejan's going to die, though, and they don't get high ground. Magic Johnson's trying to run. They've got the blink. Yules, though, can they chase this? There's the blink. The Yule's up. They don't have anything to follow it up just yet. Hora Hora's close by. He's got the slow from wow, look at that. The blink, and Medra actually managing to get his blink as well, but the slow from the Frost Arrows, not maxed out or anything, so not too huge of a slow, but a 5 for 2. Fishbot 3.5, Medra 2.1. Oh my god, a disastrous team fight. A swap in onto the Wyvern, but really, why do you care? The Lion picks up the gem. And look at that. They lost a 20k lead. This is going to be huge. It's going to go down to, I imagine, maybe 12k. Look at that drop. Oh my god. That was absolutely massive. The Lion can grab a 4-staff. That's going to be detrimental for the Clockwork. Midget did go down, but he's still got a 4-staff. The Dagon from the Nyx here, he did go down as well. Does have the Dagon 4. He should have his Blink Dagger soon if he wants to grab it within the next fight or two if they win them. And look at this, a BKB on the Shadow Fiend in a little bit, and now this game's getting scarier. This is the 30-minute mark that I was saying. This Drow just needs to survive till the Roshan's going to be up there. And if they can spot out this Roshan and grab it, man, 260 damage on that Drow Ranger, 230 damage on the Shadow Fiend. Nyx Assassin's got his Dagon. I think it's around 700 burst damage. Yeah, 700 burst damage. This is getting scarier and scarier. They're going to start dewarding the Radiant now, and they do scout Roshan, so they do know Roshan's up before the Dire does. And if they can get this Rosh, perhaps they can turn it into a Rax here. Fishbot is going to finally maybe look to get this top tower, as it's still standing 30 minutes in. And it looks like the Radiant is going to move towards Rosh. So at the very least, they are going to lose that fight. They won't be able to secure this Roshan here, Dire will. And they're a little bit afraid of this tower. We see these nice claw marks from the Shadow Fiend Immortal. I do really like that claw drag, as Draw Ranger just going to move up, and they're going to secure the Roshan, and Dyer's probably slapping themselves in the forehead right now, saying, what the hell, guys? We just got a 5-man wipe, and we didn't go get Roshan after that. How unfortunate. Although it was a low respawn, but if you're keeping an eye on the timers, it was a little bit, it should have been respawned for sure by the time they finished that wipe. And it looks like Witch Doctor moving into the Aghanim Scepter. BKB does get picked up by the Shadow Fiend, as well as the smoke from the Vengeful Spirit here. Lena, she's got 2.5k, so not poor by any means. We'll see what she wants to move into next. I think a BKB would be absolutely massive here. We saw the Requiem doing so much damage there. A nice 2-man impale. I believe it was from the Nyx. It could have been from the Lion, though. They look so similar, and in the middle of that team fight, it was getting a little bit hectic, but a nice impale from one of those two heroes. Definitely, I want to say, secured them that team fight. So whoever that was, props to you. As Idiot about halfway to finishing his level 5 Dagon, and 800 burst damage is pretty huge, even though it is magical, and we do have the Glimmer Cape on, as well as the Cloak. So, you know, not going to be too effective, but Idiot, he's going in. They don't have a gem. They do have Sentry Ward if they want to place it soon, as it looks like Toontamer does have his MKB finished up. There's the two Monkey King, whatever the heck they are. Or no, not the Monkey King bars, but Monkey King bar is going to be what's finished up there. There's the D push yet again from the Wyvern. Maybe going to look for a hook here. And here we go. This is going to be the team fight. If the Radiant loses this team fight, I honestly don't believe they'll be able to come back, or at the very least, they won't be in the lead anymore. And you can tell by how far back they're playing. They do have a scout onto this Clockwork. I believe he did just get pinged out by the Lion there, as he is looking for the hook. Just going to throw the flare on the tower there. There's the huge hook in, actually, on a midget. But it looks like Magic Jackson perhaps getting a little bit too aggressive. He's not going to die Fishbot, though. He's going to eat the pure damage Laguna Blade. Absolutely huge. Hora is going to go down as well. And there's the team fight. The buyback here on the Shadow Fiend, but it's a little bit too late. He's going to get Yulesed up as well just right after that. A second Yules by him to try and dodge the stun that wasn't actually there. It looks like Idiot is trying to get whatever damage out he can, and actually maybe getting a little close to getting a kill here. Nils Olav is going to go down Fishbot, though. He's going to get blinked on by Djint, who is going to in turn go down, but she's still got the Aegis as well as the Gyrocopter nearby if they want to make the save. But with really no finger or burst damage to speak of, they do at least save the racks, so not all is lost. They do lose 2 cores, on a buyback on the Shadow Fiend is pretty massive, actually, as he's not going to have too much item progression here. Is Djint going to continue to push up, and a mech would be absolutely huge on the side of the Radiant, honestly. They would have won that team fight easily, and wow, I can't believe that actually just hit there. Just barely on the edge of that was Djint, and he's really just looking for that tower. He wants it so bad, and it's so close to going down. He should be spamming out his abilities here. It looks like they are going to use the Fortify. They shouldn't be able to get the kill with that. No, it looks like it's going to go down even beforehand. And there's the D-Sentry. So, do they still have the gem on the Leon here? Looks like, yes, he is still holding on to this gem. Flare from the Clockwork. Just looking for somebody into the jungle, but there's nobody there to pressure even if they wanted to. Radiant, once again, has to return home without a barracks to speak of. And 4.7k on this Lena is quite scary, though. We'll see if maybe she wants to get a BKB, or perhaps just get a ton of burst damage, get the Dagon. You could get the E-Blade, but obviously it doesn't help the Laguna Blade being pure damage. Nils Olav is pinging out this Invis rune. They do have this smoke if they want to use it, and it looks like they are going to grab the Invis here on the Gyrocopter, and he is going to walk past this ward, which means they may think that he's not there, but Toontamer, he's close by. There's the hook in on a Hora. The cooldown's going to land on, I imagine, everybody here. Hora is going to go down almost instantly. Midget, he's following right behind as well. BKB's being popped. Medra's going to try to turn around and stun, but he's going to go down. There's the cooldown actually going to land on absolutely nothing. Just trying to zone out Idiot here, but it doesn't matter. The Rax is going to go down, and this should be GG for the Dire here. The Shadow Fiend can't really do too much. He's got the BKB, but really, what can you do here? They don't have Laguna Blade, fortunately enough, but only 20 seconds off, and looks like they're going to be able to secure the bottom racks as well. Idiot, perhaps not remembering that they have the gem there. He's going to go down. Looks like Witch Doctor finally going to be able to use this Death Ward yet again after trying it bot lane earlier on this game. And that's going to be a double rack. So the GG getting called from Hora here. And a nice game. So only 37 minutes. Not the longest of games. But a little bit back and forth there as we saw Medra. He's just going to turn around. But that is going to be the game. it was pretty well in the Radiant's favor, but the Dire certainly had a nice comeback potential there. So thanks, guys, for watching. Sorry the cast was a little bit subpar, as it's been quite a while for me. Hopefully the next two will be a lot better than this one. And yeah, I do have a couple down the line. I'll be posting them later on tonight, so please do check out the rest of the games if you've got the time. You know, you're washing the dishes, you're putting away the laundry. Have them on in the background. Maybe watch some of your friends. Maybe see some of the things they like to do, you know. Study their play. But nevertheless, guys, thanks for watching again. There's a little bit of a short clip at the end of this video outlining some more series that I do. So please, if you do want to stick around and check that out. But either way, have a good night, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to check out some of my other videos. I have my series From Lane to Lane, where I just cast some everyday pubs that you guys send me. I also do some more professional pubs, like games from Koikva, Miracle, whoever I can get my hands on from DotoBuff. I have a learning series as well, so feel free to check that out. There's some more info in the description, as well as some videos linked in the annotations at the end here. Thanks a lot.